Remember when you was young and your parents on occasion would say to you, "You're not the centre of the universe." Well, how wrong they were. Because in actual fact, we're all the centre of the universe. Why is that? It's because our consciousness, of course, is here, seemingly within us. And the whole world, the whole universe, stems from this. Because this is the point which collates all of this information. And so this little speck of consciousness in this vast cosmos is indeed centre of the universe. How does that make you feel? And it's perfectly within our rights for us to act as if we are centre of the universe, because metaphysically speaking, we are. And if we all realised that in actual fact we're all centre of the universe, we are centre of our universe, and there are as many universes, cosmoses let's say, as there are individual specks of consciousness. And every single individual speck of consciousness is centre to their universe. And only they are partaking in that. So in actual fact, what we have is we have a cosmos unto ourselves. So think about it, people. You know, let's get philosophical about this. Every single thing that is going on for billions of light years all around us is entirely ours. Entirely ours because we all perceive it in our own way. And so there absolutely can't just be one universe, one cosmos that we're all sharing in, because we'll never ever see the same things. And I've done many videos in relation to this. If somebody was sitting alongside me now, would they have the same experience? Absolutely not. Really, really different. Ask the other person to convey as much as they possibly could what they experienced when they were sitting next to me, and it would be vastly different from mine, other than the fact, oh, we were sitting on the dock of the bay and there were some boats over there and there's a bridge over there, and over where? What sort of boats? What sort of a bridge? You see, if I look at that bridge and I stare at it for half an hour, I'm still going to have trouble trying to absorb and remember and compute all the information. I will look at it long and hard, and I'll say to myself, okay, so it's so big, it's so long, it's such and such a colour, and it's constructed in such and such a way, the configuration of the angle line underneath, and all these things I'll try to remember. And then if I try to discuss that with you, if I try to impart to you that which it was, even if I was very, very accurate, the way in which you interpreted the information would be different. Now, because this boat's just come down, I've noticed it's interesting when you go down here. And you see what happens when these waves come in. And so I want to show you. Look at all those little fish. See all those? A couple of hundred of them. And so you see how it's disturbing, and all those patterns around my head. Let me go a little bit closer. And look into the depth, and it appears that there's all sorts of geometry and shapes swirling around on occasions, you see? And it's like, if ever you had this spirograph game as a child, it's a bit like some sort of an art thing, whereby there were wheels, and you put your pen in one of the holes in the wheels, and you'd go round and round and round another one, and then you'd end up with lots of sort of similar sort of shapes to that which is going on there. And you know, just how it changes all the time. Never ever the same. Beautiful. And so, allow me to continue. So when we realise the magnitude of what we are and what part we're playing here in this universe, in our universe. We have a universe to ourselves. We have a world to ourselves. And so, doesn't that then make you feel special? And I'm not fucking about it, people. Think about it, really. We do have our own world. We're not sharing this world. We're sharing our idea of this world with other people, and other people are sharing their idea of their world, and that's all we're doing. We are intertwining ideas of separate worlds. And so when you look then at the confusion going on in the world, and people start to look for some sort of avenue to a utopian society, it's never going to happen. It's not meant to happen. The bigger scale of things, it isn't meant to happen. It can't possibly happen. We are all here to experience our own subjective worlds. And so when you know that this world and this universe is yours alone, ask yourself the question, what are you going to do with it? What respect are you going to show it? What do you want to create within it? How much of it do you want to partake in? Because there's a billion gazillion things that you can partake in. And I can take you around on my travels all through every day. And I can be pointing out things to you that you've never ever looked at before. Making observations that you probably would have never considered before. But you see, you're looking at your world from your perspective, and I'm looking at it from mine, and I'm showing you my perspective, aren't I? And I'm saying to you, look guys, can you see this and can you see that, and look how this is and look how that is. But your emotions, your emotional state is different to mine. Your upbringing, your culture, your education, the path that you travelled, it's all different to mine. And so you'll never see the same thing, if indeed the same thing actually existed. You see? And so this is what really gives me a great deal of satisfaction, because I know that everything I see is entirely for me. It's entirely mine. It belongs absolutely to me, because it is my world. And we can never live in the same world. We can only ever share our ideas of our own subjective worlds. And so when you think about that then, some people might feel quite lonely to know that you are in your world. You can never ever be in anybody else's world. Nobody can ever be in yours. You can only ever share the illusion of the same world. So when you look at it like that, and you look at this thing called solipsism, whereby there is no other consciousness except your own, because you can't prove that. People can act like they're conscious, but you can never know it. Why can't you ever know it? Because they are living in another world, you see? And that explains it. If you could really share their world, then you would have to share their consciousness. But you can never do that, so therefore you can never share their world.